Wow, a lot has happened since I last watched this franchise. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now today we're going to be talking about the film Ice Age Collision Course. This is the, I believe, 5th film in the Ice Age franchise, a dying franchise essentially. And it stars our main heroes from the first one, Manny, Diego, and Sid. This good trio. They are all married or have significant others to a degree. We have Manny, who has a wife, he has a daughter, and the daughter is now engaged to another mammoth. We have Diego, who has a girlfriend slash wife. I don't know the connection between these people. And then we have Sid, who's still single, which you would pretty much assume. Now, I don't remember really where I left off watching the Ice Age franchise. I know I watched the first one. I know that I generally enjoyed the first one because it's actually quite good from what I remember. And then it just kind of kept on going and going and going and going, and now we're here. They bring back a lot of characters from the other films, and so there's just a lot of people who I had to be reintroduced to who I just didn't know because I'd never met them originally. So I don't know really what characters are new per se and what ones are not, because I recognize a lot of people. Like there's this character Buck, who's like this pirate type of a defender of the Jurassic underworld of dinosaurs, which I know there was a Dawn of the Dinosaurs film of some sort. So that's probably where he originated from, but he's back in this movie. The general idea is that we have asteroids coming towards Earth. They're going to destroy all life, and we have to stop it or redirect the asteroid somewhere else, because that's totally possible for mammals in the Ice Age to do. Now, I will say this. This is a film more aimed for kids than it is for adults. It's not Zootopia. It's not one of the Disney movies which has adult themes interspersed with kid entertainment. It is very much a kid movie, and so I will say that going into this review. I'm not a kid, so I didn't really enjoy it as much as maybe a little kid, like 8 or 9 year old, would. That being said, it's not really that great of an excuse. I mean, we have Despicable Me, who has adult themes. We have all the Disney stuff, which has adult themes. Pixar. We have so many animated movies that have great adult themes interspersed within films generally aimed for children that adults can enjoy it while kids enjoy it as well, and then they can learn the themes growing up. And so it's not really that much fun when you go into a film and it's like, oh, this doesn't really have any of that stuff, which is really making films work well nowadays. This film has 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. There's a reason why. One thing I did like about the movie, though, is that it does deal with the theme of kind of kids leaving homes and having to go on their own from their parents, and there's that whole situation. I thought that it was dealt with well. It's brought up where it's necessary. It kind of goes along the general trajectory that you would expect it to in this movie. I just thought it was done well, and I enjoyed seeing that aspect of the film. The animation, again, looks good. I rarely can fault animation because it's nothing I can even come close to doing. I also thought that the chemistry between all the characters worked really, really well. There wasn't really anything terribly awkward that I noticed per se. Maybe Diego's girlfriend slash wife, again, don't know. She maybe got a little less screen time than the rest of the characters as far as what I can remember. But everyone else, yeah, generally got really good chemistry and mingled very, very well throughout the movie. I did feel like they just kind of have to put Scrat, like the little acorn-obsessed creature, in the movie nowadays, just because he's such an iconic figure for this franchise, that he doesn't really interact with any of the other characters anymore, and it's just kind of an annoying thing. Like, they have him as the setup for how our Milky Way is formed and for why the asteroids are heading towards Earth, and he's in the spaceship, and they cut back to him every so often, show like funny gags that he's getting into, but really doesn't have any essence on the story. They could have just shown, oh hey, there's asteroids coming towards Earth, that's our setup, that's our premise, move on to the movie. It would have worked just as well doing that and just cut Scrat out and just have him show up maybe one time throughout the film, and that's it. You really don't need him as a character anymore because, I mean, you threw him in space. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much trying to get rid of him at that point. I did think that the resolution worked for the most part. I won't spoil it, but I thought that it was clever enough for how it was delivered, and I generally enjoyed it, as well as the ending scene per se. I thought it was all fun. It's a fine movie. It's not like Disney or Pixar or DreamWorks, which really just nailed these types of movies really well for both adults and kids. It's fine. It's a kids movie. It does what it needs to do, and it does it well enough to make it enjoyable. So if you're a kid, I don't know why you're watching my reviews, but if you're a kid who has watched the Ice Age franchise for a while and you want to see this one, go check it out. You'll probably enjoy it because you'll be a lot more caught up on who the characters are and the relationships and everything than I was, and maybe I would have enjoyed it more if I had seen that. But as someone who has not really watched the franchise in at least 5 or so years, I thought it was fine as a movie, but again, just couldn't really get as into it as maybe if I had actually seen all the movies in the franchise leading up to this point. So guys, those are just my thoughts on Ice Age Collision Course. Check it out if you have interest, but those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.